He wanted to terrorize this country. He wanted to punish America for what it was doing to his people. Those are the words of the federal prosecutor as he delivered his closing argument to the jury on Monday. Several survivors of the attack were inside the courtroom, along with family members of the victims. Like the father of 8-year-old Martin Richard, the youngest bombing victim, he died from the second blast at the finish line. The prosecutor pressed on for an hour and a half as people in the courtroom wiped tears from their faces. The defendant brought terrorism into the backyards and main streets. He thought that his values were more important than the people around him. He wanted to awake the Mujahideen, the holy warriors, so he chose Patriots' Day, Marathon Monday. That day, thousands of spectators were gathered at the finish line when 2 bombs exploded. 3 people died, 260 others were injured. Over the next 4 days, the city came to a grinding halt as investigators searched for their prime suspects, Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. The 2 brothers wreaked havoc across the city. They shot and killed MIT police officer Sean Collier, then carjacked an SUV and held the driver at gunpoint for almost an hour. Tamerlan died in a shootout with police. His younger brother, Dzhokhar, escaped, but was eventually captured in nearby Watertown where he was hiding in a winterized boat. From the outset of his trial, Tsarnaev's lawyers fully acknowledged that Dzhokhar carried out the attacks, but they insist his older brother Tamerlan was the real mastermind behind the bombings. In her closing argument, lead defense attorney Judy Clark told the jury, "We don't deny that Dzhokhar fully participated in the events, but if not for Tamerlan, it would not have happened." The defense says the only fingerprints found on the bomb-making materials were Tamerlan's. They painted a picture of Dzhokhar as a confused, impressionable young college student who succumbed to his older brother's increasingly radical beliefs. But the prosecution pushed back, saying the brothers did this together. Tamerlan planted one bomb and Dzhokhar planted the other. And since the prosecution has the burden of proof, it had the last word, delivering the core of their case to the jury that Tsarnaev chose a day when the eyes of the world would be on Boston. He chose a day when there would be civilians on the sidewalks, and he targeted those civilians, men, women, and children.